G'day viewers, welcome to another video. I've made a mess of this one, I know in advance, and I'm happy to admit it. We all make mistakes. Basically, I was processing some purple ceramic CPUs for a customer, and so I need to do the video that way he could see what was done. However, my external hard drive, which I stored all my video files on for about 3 different videos I was making, it went corrupt and I've lost every bit of footage. I'm in the process of trying to get it back. I've left it with somebody who knows how to do it. In the meantime, I'm going to stitch this video together as best I can, and if I do get the footage back, I'll make an updated video later. So basically all I have in the way of footage of this video is what was still on my GoPro. I hadn't yet uploaded it to the computer, so I've now just recently put it all on the computer, and I'll make a video using this footage, so you'll see the gold in solution, and from that point onwards. It's a shame. I would have liked to have showed you all the footage, and as it was, I made a mistake and had it on time lapse. So everything I was doing, you couldn't really work it out. Anyway, it was just like fast forward. So you're not really missing a whole lot anyway. So I've done the nitric bath, I've removed any base metals, and I've put the foils into aqua regia, and that's where I'm up to. So sorry if this is a crappy video, but I actually got more than I thought I would anyway, so it was a good turnout in the end. Alright, so here we go. Okay, so I have no idea why my camera was set to time-lapse. I apologise for that. I don't know how that happened. But anyway, so what I'll do is I'll catch you up on what I've done, where I'm up to. Now, it took me a lot of nitric to get all that gold dissolved. It just seemed to take forever. There's a lot of gold in there. I've got it to the point now where all the gold is dissolved, and then for some reason the solution has turned to rust. Now, I would have imagined that the pins would be copper. I don't know where steel's come from, but I've been putting nitric in over and over and over to consume the rust. As you can see, there's a reaction in there, so it's working, but it just doesn't seem to want to go away. I mean, while it's reacting, it's obviously dissolving the rust, but where it come from, how it got in there, why it won't go away, I don't know. It just seems to be getting browner and browner and browner. Never seen this happen before. So there are two choices. Keep putting nitric in, eventually it has to go, and I don't mind doing that, or filter it and try and get the rust out. Because by now I should be dropping the gold. Makes no sense to me whatsoever why there's rust in there, but there is, so I've got to deal with it. So what I've done is I've been putting nitric in, and as you can see, it's reacting. Doesn't take long before the reaction goes away. Those fumes are slowly dissipating. I'll just put one more big dose of nitric in there. The solution looks like it's starting to go dark instead of being brown. There's going to be a ton of nitric in there. I know for sure I'm going to have to denox it, which is something I don't normally need to do, because I normally use incremental addition, so I add little bits at a time until it stops reacting. But in this case, I've put so much nitric in there, I'm going to have to denox. Now, I'm just going to give it a little bit longer to try and use up that nitric I just put in. There's some faint fumes in there, not much. And if I don't see any improvement soon, I'm getting my partner to get some funnels and paint beakers ready now, and we're going to just filter it. So I'll deal with it that way, but it looks like the rust is going. Just waiting for those fumes to dissipate. Okay, so as you can see, the fumes have picked up again. Starting to get some more fumes in there. And as I said, I'm just going to wait for the fumes to stop and then filter it. It's looking a lot better. Before it was so light brown. It was clearly full of rust powder, but now it's not. Doesn't look like there's powder in there. It looks like just brown solution. I don't know if you can understand what I mean, but it just looks so different before. And the fumes are really starting to pick up. So I'll just let that nitric get used up and turn it off and let it cool down. Set it up, make sure that the nitric is well stirred in, and I've rinsed off all the gold solution on the side, which was all yellow, so it was hard to tell if fumes or not. And now there's no fumes. So either all the nitric's been consumed, which I doubt because there's so much in there, or it's stopped dissolving and there's nothing left to dissolve, and the solution doesn't look like it used to. So I've turned it off. I'm going to let it cool down and filter it. It's had time to cool right down now, and I'm going to start filtering it. I've got a filter set up here, and let's see what we come up with. There's definitely no rust powder in the solution now. Because before, when it was all rust powder floating in the surface, if I had tried to filter it, it would have just clogged the filter up no worries. So hopefully now I don't have that issue. Now when it comes time to drop the gold, I've made up some copperas. Now they say that copperas drops the gold and only the gold, whereas SMB and other things can drop down copper and bits and pieces. However, I don't necessarily agree that it only drops the gold, because every time I've used copperas I end up with dirty gold. I still have to refine it. If it was true that it drops the gold and only the gold, then you would end up with pure gold, you wouldn't have to refine it. So, but on the off chance that maybe they're right and that it doesn't bring copper with it or something, I'm going to use the gold. I'm going to use the copperas to drop the gold from the solution, because it's so filthy. Whatever's in the solution to make it brown, I don't want to drop that with the gold. So hopefully the copperas will give me a clean drop. And I've got some here made up. I'll put it in a milk bottle. I've got to put some hydrochloric acid with it until it goes green before I use it. But just got to filter this first. And you can see the ceramic in here, and there's no gold left on it that I can see. Looks like there's some silver sediment in the bottom, has dropped out of solution, and that's because I didn't keep using the nitric. I didn't give the nitric boil long enough. So I'm going to put some hydrochloric acid in here while I'm waiting. I have used this as it is without putting hydrochloric acid in, and it's worked fine, but this is a refine for someone else, not for me, so I'm going to do it by the book and put hydrochloric acid in. That's what it says to do. I don't see it going green like they reckon, so that should be plenty. See, waste of acid. It doesn't go green for me, but that's alright. It's worked every time I've used it the way it is. So I filtered it already, got the iron filings and everything out of it. So now it's waiting for this to filter. Once it's done, and I give all this ceramic a good rinse, make sure I get all the gold solution off it, and then we can drop the gold. Alright, so all the solution has filtered. I'm just giving these ceramics a really good wash. Make sure I get all the gold solution off. And I'm really not happy with the colour of the solution. It's looking really dirty. I don't know why it's like that. I wish I had more time to do the nitric boil to get it nice and clean. I would have had a nice gold solution, nice yellowy colour, or maybe even an orange solution if it was rich enough. There's a lot of yellow coming off the ceramic still, so that means there's more to clean off. I'll just keep doing this until it comes out clear. So it's just water coming out. Now it won't matter that I'm watering down the gold, because you're supposed to dilute the gold solution anyway, and this will do the job. So these are just clean ceramic chips now. It looks like there's gold on there, but it's not. It's like a greeny coloured dot. You can see they're all perfectly clean, no gold left on them. What's coming out now is almost clear, and there's a slight hint of colour to it. Just because this is for somebody else, I want to make sure I get every single drop of gold. If it was for me, the filter with all the dust in it would go into my filter storage anyway, but it's not for me, so I've got to be thorough and make sure I get it all. I need some more water. Yeah, it's coming out clear now. It's good. So now this can all go in the trash. It's just ceramic chips and there's nothing on it. Okay, because of the colour, I'm not real happy with it. Once that finishes filtering, I could use the same filter again now that it's blocked up with some sediment and whatever, and it would catch more on the next pass. But I'm going to do something that's even better. I'm going to put 2 or 3 cotton balls in the end of a funnel and run it all through the cotton balls, and that usually gets it really clean. Whatever colour it ends up being, at least it's going to be clean. That's not even close to see-through, and I would like to try and get it a bit better than that, even if I have to run it through cotton balls twice. I'll do this the best I can since it's for somebody else. So should I wait for that to filter now, and I'll be back. Well, that's filtered through, so I give it a good rinse, get all the gold solution out of the filter paper. Make sure I get every drop. And once that's gone through, I've got another funnel, a clean funnel, and I've got some filters, cotton buds jammed in there tight, really tight. So that should take quite a while to drip through, and hopefully catch every single particle. I want the solution nice and clean. If you're wondering why the difference, it's only because that's where the water's been different density from the thing. If I stirred it up, it'll be all one colour. Let's let that filter through. Just going to do a quick stannous test, even though I know there's gold in solution. But I have watered it down quite a lot, so it might dilute the test, but there you go, positive. If that was concentrated without the water in there, it'd go jet black. So that's a positive. So once we get it filtered now, it should be nice and clean. I'm hoping it'll drip out a nice yellow colour. So it's going to take a while to get through the cotton balls, because I really jammed them in tight. Okay, the longer that takes to go through, the better, because it means it's catching every single bit. Except if it gets to the point where it blocks up in there full of sediment, then that's going to be a hassle. But I'll give it a couple of days if I need to. I want it nice and clean. Alright, it started coming through. Look how nice and yellow that is. It's going drip, 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 but it's perfect. That's what I wanted to see, a nice yellow or golden colour. Perfect. It can take as long as it wants if we're going to keep coming out like that. So I finished filtering last night. Now it's time to put copper as in there and see if we can get some gold. Pour it all in, all of it. Alright, it's a waiting game now. It's been sitting now for 4 hours, which should be plenty of time for the gold to settle. So I'll pour off the solution, see how much gold we got. I can see on the end, you can see through the colour of the liquid if any gold tries to escape. There's our gold. Beautiful. So what I'll do now is I'll rinse this into this beaker here and start the cleanup process. Being stubborn the last bit. Gotcha. Okay. You see all that lovely gold in the bottom there. So now I'll pour off the dirty solution and I'll go and get the kettle and boil some water up and bring out some nice hot water to wash it a few times with. Alright, I've got some nice hot water. I'll give it a couple of washes in hot water, get all that dirty solution off. You can see how clean it's going to come up when it gets rid of dirty solution like that. So now, pour this off. The gold's clumping nicely at the bottom, which is good. there's no colloidal gold, which means it's nice and clean. When I say clean, not too many impurities. And there's no tin. You get tin in there and you end up with colloidal gold, and it's a nightmare. So let's sit for a second so it all gathers up in the corner, and pour out the water. Now, lots of people have different ways of cleaning their gold. I do it this way, and I've proven in my other videos, especially the one where I refined some jewellery, that I went and got it tested. It came back as 999.9 or 999.99. The guy was amazed. He's never seen pure gold like that before from the hock shop, pawnbroker. So I know that this is going to come up pretty good. So I do 3 hot water washes, and then I'm going to boil it in some hydrochloric acid, and then do 3 water washes after that to get the hydrochloric acid off. However, because I've used copperas, which contains iron, I will do probably 2 or 3 hydrochloric water washes, hydrochloric boils, just to make sure I've got all the iron out of there. So I'll get my hydrochloric acid. Pretty hard to do with standing up on crutches, but I'll give it a shot. I know some people, like the eBay refiner, they just do rinses in hydrochloric acid. Well, I prefer to boil it. And I've got to go and get a lid to put on there. It's been boiling away now for half an hour. I'm pretty sure I got up too high. It's spitting and carrying on. So let's get some more water in my rinse bottle. Okay. Of course I dropped the lid. Oh. 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 Now, hopefully you can see the difference in the colour of the gold. It's gone to a nice chocolate brown colour, which is what we want, and clean it up. So the hydrochloric acid does a really good job. I'll pour this off. I'll show you a better look at it in a second. I don't know if you can see with all the steam. That looks so much better. I've still got this cough, but it's going away slowly. I told you in a couple of videos ago that I had a cough, but it's mostly gone. And sometimes I can get off the crutches like now for little steps, but most of the time I'm still stuck on them. That is a nice chocolate brown. So just give that a bit of a rinse, get that dirty hydrochloric acid off. and put some more in. I think I may have said this from the start, I'm not sure, but purple ceramics on average have 0.3 of a gram per CPU. I'm not even sure if these are CPUs, they could have just been IC chips. But supposing they are, then every 10 would be 3 grams. It's looking like there could be about 3 grams in there, so I'm guessing there was roughly 10 CPUs in the batch. There could be more, so I'm not going to put it up as high as I did before, but that should be fine. That'll boil. I'll give that another half hour or so, and that should have gotten rid of all the iron, and then I'll do 3 more hot water washes. Okay guys, due to computer problems, storage issues in my hard drive, etc., I'm still having problems making videos. I'm assuming that my hard drive is not big enough, so what I'm going to try and do is split this video into 2 parts and see if it will save half a video at a time. It's the only thing I can think of. Alright, so we'll call it here. We're back with that in part 2 soon.